What's up? It's Brandon, the mountain biking real estate marketer, and I got Mike Parelli in the house. What's going on?
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Mike. And today is Tip Tuesday. All right, Mike, tell them a little bit about yourself.
How's everyone doing? My name is Mike Parelli. I'm a full-time real estate agent in Greenwich, Connecticut. I work for New England Land Company as a broker associate.
Very nice. And today's tip is going to be about knowing your market and knowing your industry and how it can take you from zero to millions in production. Mike, take it away.
Yeah, so when I was starting out, I've been in the business about 5 years now. When you start out, you have all of this energy and you want to get deals done, but you don't have the leads or the generation. And, cold calling, you could do everything you want to do. But for me, it was making sure my time was efficient. I live in an area of town called Glenville. So what I did was I decided that I was going to go see vacant properties and open houses in my area. And I was going to be previewing all these properties so that when someone called or I bumped into someone in my market that wanted to know a little bit more about the property, I could talk knowledgeably about what I saw, what I think of it, and how I can help the client that asked about it. So immediately it builds credibility because you're staying busy. It creates momentum. And it's just a great way to keep yourself busy and productive in the beginning when you're really trying to get every opportunity possible. And my second part of this tip, which I think is the biggest part, is I was driving around and I was listening to all of these songs, and I knew every top 40 song on the radio, and I just couldn't help but think, this is such a waste of time. No one's ever going to ask me, a client, hey, do you know the words to Call Me Maybe? So I decided that day, I said, anytime between 9 and 5 when I'm working, and usually I work till later, but between 9 and 5, I'm going to and from appointments, I will only listen to podcasts, audiobooks, or YouTube videos about my industry, real estate, or my market. And that, I think, was a huge benefit. It not only helped me retain a lot more info quickly, it also helped with motivation because I was seeing all of these other people doing it and being successful and, going through their day-to-day and being productive. It also created that mindset where I was listening to real estate, 9 hours a day. And anytime someone had a question or a comment about real estate, I was able to jump in with something that I learned and just kind of retained through the form of brainwashing myself. So in the beginning, I was really struggling to get appointments and any type of client. And, 5 years later, give or take, now I am struggling to manage all of my clients. And I attribute it mostly to knowing my market and then knowing the industry and continue to do that today. I'm trying to add some more commercial deals. So my new rule for 2020 is anytime I'm driving, it has to be about commercial real estate.
Wow, that's crazy. Are you serious? So literally you just spent time looking at vacant homes and you drove, instead of driving around listening to music, you drove around listening to podcasts and brainwash yourself with the market so that anytime you need to regurgitate it, you're ready to go just like that. So you did that, and that took you from zero to trying to find clients to trying to find time to manage all of your clients.
Correct.
That's crazy. That's so simple.
Yeah.
But how many agents aren't doing that? How many agents are sitting at home and just like watching YouTube videos or watching Netflix? Like, what do you think is the current status of this not being done right now?
Well, I think a lot of people don't think of it. I think because it's just, it's what people do. They go in their car and they turn on the music. And it's, yes, the right place song before an appointment or after an appointment can be very beneficial, but more often than not, I would take a good audiobook or a good podcast on your topic any day of the week. So I just think it's not engraved in the culture, and it's so easy. It's such a simple thing. I was surprised how many people enjoy this tip because I just thought it made sense, and I started doing it. And one day it was like, oh, I have all this time in the car. Why don't I make it productive, make it kind of my mobile office?
How do you think most agents are wasting their time instead of previewing homes? I love this tip about previewing vacant homes just to build momentum and knowledge and confidence.
Yeah.
What are agents doing other than that?
I think a lot of agents, and it's something that I did, are going the calling expired listings route. or trying to door knock, which they work, they absolutely work. But I think a lot of the time people get discouraged in the beginning. And one of the reasons I got into real estate was because I love real estate, and I'm an investor as well in town. And I was looking selfishly as well, because any good deal that came across the board, I want to look at it first. And by going and seeing all these properties, you get this Rolodex and this toolbox for any client that comes across and asks you questions. So I think agents are working hard. I just think they need to work a little smarter, because a well placed, informative comment about a property that a client asked about is much, even a cold call, right? Say you see 5 properties in Glenville and you make a cold call and someone answers and they ask about their house. If you could say, well, I saw 4 other properties in your area that were all less than 700,000. So I don't think at first thought that your property is above 700, but I'd love to come out and give you a CMA or whatever you call it in your local market. So it's, you learn how to be creative with what you've learned out in the field. But I think nothing replaces going out and actually touching, feeling real estate.
If you're just going to vacant lots all the time, how are you actually going to be also speaking to people?
So I want to clarify that. So I also went to preview properties with agents. So something I also realized is that it's very important to get in front of other agents. Once you have a deal and you submit an offer, if the other agent recognizes your name and your face and has a relationship with you, they are much more willing to hear you out and negotiate. It's sometimes, it's not what you want, but it's just the reality of the business. The more people you see, the more credibility you have. Going to see properties in a price range you want to be in, when you do get a client in that price range, it is very helpful to know the other agents that are active. So vacant properties, vacant lots, all that stuff's great. But if you can meet an agent while also previewing a property, that's important too. Yeah, open houses. Something I also did is say, listen, I don't have a client at the moment. If you have any other showings and you're going to be over at the property, I would love to preview it. I have some ideas for clients, but they're not ready yet. But if one of them does become motivated, I want to be prepared. And then if they're a good agent, which a lot of them are, they will say, all right, I'm showing the property at 12:30 tomorrow. Can you be there at 12 when I'm opening up?
I love the knowledge that you're building and the credibility and the confidence. I love the confidence that you're talking about. I love the momentum. I love the relationships. I love the community. But how you build up all that knowledge and that momentum, and it sounds like you're just getting yourself prepared for having the right person to talk to you. But how do you get that right person to talk to you?
So in conjunction with doing all of that, you are also doing it on the sell side. So a lot of times when you start out, there are senior agents that have open houses. They have showings, or they need someone to open up properties for their lesser listings, rentals. So the same way on the buying side, you're preparing yourself. On the selling side, you're going to open houses and hosting them and meeting local people, and you're meeting leads, and you're talking to leads, and you're showing your knowledge. So in conjunction with doing all that and preparing yourself on the knowledge side, you also have to pursue the leads. And I did, I'm a big social media proponent. My background, is in social media. So it was the combination of doing a lot of social media, being available for senior agents to host their open houses, and then taking my own initiative and going seeing as many other properties as you can. And then through all of that, you create a couple of initial leads, and then you need to execute and close those and then create momentum.
So you build up all this knowledge. I love that. So you go preview as many homes as you can to build up confidence and momentum. And there's probably a lot of agents sitting at home just wondering where the next deal is going to come from, or their first deal ever. Yeah. And you're saying, get out there, build momentum, build knowledge. It's going to build your confidence. Go to open houses, get those leads, put those two together, and you're going to have something great.
Well, then you'll have a bunch of good leads. Then you'll have a lot of inventory that you can then pitch to the leads. So I have always been most effective when I have an actual property to talk about, when I cold call or touch base with a client. So, hey, Mr. Johnson, I just saw 3 properties that I think are perfect for what you're looking for. Not sure if you're still in the market, but give these a look and let me know what you think.
Do most agents not preview homes as much as you did in the beginning?
Yes, I would say a lot of agents go through the MLS and they click through, or they're on Zillow and they're checking properties out. But I found that the photos can be very misleading, and a client can look at what's on either the MLS or Zillow, but they usually don't go to the properties and learn the property, talk to the agent, and see what the situation is. If an agent is hosting an open house and they're having trouble selling a property, or they're just there, usually, and most of the time, they'll give you some background. So again, when that client reaches out to you about a property, you have knowledge that they don't, and you become more credible instantly.
Most agents are looking at Zillow links or looking at MLS links, and they're thinking they're going to get enough information through looking at it online. But you're saying you went in person, you touched it, you felt it, you smelt it, you met people, you build that knowledge, build that confidence, and then you worked your open houses and you put those two together and you had a magical thing. Is that right?
Yes, and it's a little more complicated, but basically that's what I did. Yeah.
Wow, guys. So you hear that? Literally just get out there, preview homes, touch, feel, and smell these homes, build up that knowledge, that confidence, that momentum, and you are going to go from 0 to millions in production. All right, Mike, thank you so much for that tip. You guys don't just watch this and not take action. Audit yourself. If you need to make a change, decide what you need to do, decide to make that change, and stick to that change. Start previewing homes, start going to open houses, start getting it done. Okay, Mike, where can people learn more tips like this and more about you?
So I am at Mike Parelli Greenwich Real Estate on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to reach out to me, shoot a text, 203-940-2666. I also am on the No Snooze podcast as one of the co-hosts, talking about my day-to-day and staying motivated. Yeah, anywhere on social media, reach out and connect. I'm all over the place. If I'm doing my job right, follow the hashtag Selling Greenwich.
Awesome, Mike. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
If you are a real estate team, broker, or agent that is good at what you do, but you're not getting enough leads and appointments, but you know if you had those leads and appointments that you could crush it, then you need to head to happyrealtorgrowth.com and watch the free video that I have on there for you, where we teach you how to set up a system to generate you leads on 100% autopilot and even generate you appointments without lifting a finger. I made a free video for you, so head to happyrealtorgrowth.com and watch that today. All right, Mike, thanks for being on. We'll see you later.
Thank you.